What is going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today we are talking about the new 7-star raid coming to Scarlet and Violet, Rock-type Chesnaught. So Chesnaught is normally a grass fighting type, which means it has a 4 times weakness to flying, but due to changing to a rock type, it just says not today, bird, and swats them away. Chesnaught's now going to have 5 weaknesses to ground, steel, fighting, grass, and water. But because Chesnaught is normally a grass type as well, you probably don't want to be bringing ground types or water types because this thing will likely still have access to grass type coverage. On top of that, it's going to have fighting type coverage, so steel might be out, but it might still be doable. Don't get me wrong, we don't know what's going to be currently in the raid, but steel, water, and ground are probably going to be kind of a little bit at a disadvantage because of Chesnaught's natural stabs. That said, fighting is definitely going to be pretty solid, and grass could even be pretty solid as well. Chesnaught is normally a physical juggernaut as well. It's got 88 on its HP stat, it's got 107 attack, and 122 defense. This thing gets access to bulk up, so it could boost its physical stats. On the special side, though, it doesn't have that high of a special attack at 74, and 75, while it is decent, it's probably going to be the better stat to hit. Chesnaught's hidden ability, Bulletproof, protects it from a very, very specific list of moves. In Showdown here, it just describes them as bullet moves, but it goes a little bit more in depth because moves that are classified as like ball and bomb, they're also like useless against Chesnaught here, and I do have the list here on Cerebi, so we'll just jump into that right quick. We have Acid Spray, Aura Sphere, Barrage, which I don't even think anything gets that. I think it's one of those old moves that doesn't do anything now. Beak Blast, Bullet Seed, Egg Bomb, Electro Ball, Energy Ball. So now keep in mind too, because Bullet Seed and Energy Ball are here, you're going to have to be very specific about your grass type coverage if you want to hit this thing as well with grass type attacks. Focus Blast, Gyro Ball, Ice Ball, Magnet Bomb, Mist Ball, Mud Bomb, Octazooka, Pollen Puff, Pyro Ball, Rock Blast, Rock Wrecker, Searing Shot, Seed Bomb, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, and Zap Cannon. So very, very specific list here for Bulletproof, but there are a couple of fighting type moves on here as well as grass type moves that you're going to want to not bring. So when you're building your Pokemon for this raid, maybe just consult the list just to make sure you don't accidentally put one of these moves on it. Case in point, I almost put Energy Ball on one of the ones that I'm going to be talking about later. But yeah, let's jump back into Showdown. Alright, so let's go over some notable moves that Chesnaught might get as well. So starting off with some grass type moves here, we might be seeing access to Wood Hammer, which is a base 120 physical grass type attack that causes a third of the damage of recoil. We get access to Seed Bomb, so base 80 right there. It could get Trailblaze to boost its speed. 64 is not the slowest thing out there, and it's not necessarily the fastest thing, but with a couple speed boosts, it could get scary rather quickly. On top of that, we could see Bullet Seed, and Bullet Seed, while normally being pretty good with the loaded dice as well, Bullet Seed might be used a little bit like from a stall set for this thing, because you never know, like, you have to watch the animation. It might have Bullet Seed on there just to whittle down the timer on you, so that could be a thing. As far as a status move goes too, we might see Leech Seed, as a Chesnaught can get that as, I think, an egg move. It can use that to get back a little bit of HP and try to stall things out. You never know. It might get it, it might not. The last 3 of the grass type moves here that I have below me, they are kind of a little bit questionable because I don't know if they would necessarily do that, but we could also see Spiky Shield, which was Chesnaught's debut signature move when it came out in Generation 6. So basically it's protect, but the opponent takes a little bit of damage if they go for a physical move. It takes about 1/8 of their max HP. So we might see that periodically there. This Chesnaught raid might be kind of stally. That could be the gimmick. I don't know yet though. We'll find out when the raid goes live. And then finally to the last move that I thought is maybe Leaf Storm, because it could be just a one-time special attacking grass-type nuke that Chesnaught goes for. You never know. They might do something like that. They do tend to throw on some mixed moves every once in a blue moon just to keep us on our toes, so we might see Leaf Storm. So let's move on to the next batch right there, which fighting type moves, because, you know, it is the secondary stab for Chesnaught. So we might see Body Press to take advantage of the fact that it does have that 122 defense. Body Press does use the defense stat instead of the attack stat for damage calculation, so it could be that. We could see Drain Punch for Chesnaught to gain back a little bit of HP, and that's why I didn't put Giga Drain under the notable grass moves, because Drain Punch is just better on Chesnaught because it's got the higher physical attack stat over special attack, so it would make more sense to see Drain Punch over Giga Drain. They could go for both, though. Chesnaught gets Close Combat, which I don't remember if this was a Gen 7 update or if this is brand new to Generation 9, but Chesnaught gets Close Combat, which could be handy. You know, if it's going to lower its own defenses, it might be nice. Unless they do something like what the Charizard did back when that one came out, where it just led Overheat and then immediately undid the special attack drop. Maybe Chesnaught might do something like that. Maybe Chesnaught might just lead Close Combat immediately and then remove the defense drops. It could do that. Similarly enough, we could see Hammer Arm, which is slightly weaker than Close Combat, but instead of dropping the defense stats, it only drops speed one stage at the cost of 20 power and 10% accuracy. So we could see that base 190 accuracy Hammer Arm instead of Close Combat. We could see Bulk Up as a status move to boost the physical stats, which I think is very viable. That could be the case. We could also see Sword Stance too, but I don't know. I feel like we might see Bulk Up, especially if they want to do like a mixed Body Press / physical attacking set. Now let's talk about the rock type moves. Spoiler alert, Chesnaught does not get many of them. It gets 5 rock type moves total, and the 3 rock type moves that I had there were Rock Slide, which, you know, 75 power, 90 accuracy, 30% chance to make you flinch. If they go for the Trailblaze route, Rock Slide could get really annoying if Chesnaught gets faster than you and starts making you flinch with the Rock Slides. We get Stone Edge, which high power, borderline okay accuracy at 80, heightened critical hit ratio, so could be that too. And then Rock Tomb. It'll slow you down one stage in your speed stat, base 60 power, 95 accuracy. The nice thing here is all 3 of these rock type moves don't have 100% accuracy. Now the other 2 rock type moves that Chesnaught gets is Rollout, which basically builds in power over turn with each hit, but again, 90 accuracy. And then the last one is Wide Guard, which really, we should definitely not expect Wide Guard to be there, considering that it protects you from spread moves, and yeah, Chesnaught's the only thing we're going to be smacking around with that, so I think that's safe to assume. Now, this thing does get a couple of other things. It gets Earthquake, solid ground type coverage, which steel types might have to be weary of. It also gets Stomping Tantrum for more ground type coverage, Bulldoze as well. It does get the Bulldoze. It gets Dragon Claw for dragon coverage for some reason. Poison Jab. We could see that, which we would have to be careful if we're bringing grass types for that too. And then one other thing that I should mention before we go any further is with the combination of rock, grass, and fighting as coverage, if we jump into PokemonDB.net, there's only 9 things that outright resist that combination, and really Golden Go and Toxicroak are the 2 viable things in Scarlet and Violet that are there. So yeah, this combination is going to hurt, but I've been already seeing it online. Golden Go is what people seem to be having the general consensus for, and Golden Go is on the list, by the way, but just be careful, because if they give this thing Earthquake, Golden Go will have to be careful. So let's get into some things that I was thinking of that we can try to use for countering Chesnaught. So we'll start off with Corridon for the Scarlet players, or anyone who traded over a Corridon to Violet. We can go Collision Course, which is Corridon's signature move. It does a third of extra damage with super effective hits right there. It's base 100 power, 100 accuracy. We can go for something similar to what people were doing with Miraidon against Decidueye. We can go Bulk Up to boost Corridon's physical stats. We can go Screech to lower Chesnaught's defense. And then we can go Collision Course to just deliver one heck of a heaping blow right there. We have Drain Punch to get back a little bit HP, but yeah, that's what I was thinking for Corridon. Corridon will naturally set the sun and boost its own attack stat as well, so if you have any Scarlet Paradox Mons that you kind of want to build a team around with your friends, you could do that. You could go with Great Tusk, or maybe even Walking Wake, actually, now that I'm thinking about that. Walking Wake might not be too bad, and I didn't even think about that originally, but whereas it does get Hydro Steam that gets its power boosted in sunlight instead of weakened by sunlight, you might be able to do something like with Walking Wake and Corridon together. So let's jump into the next one, Golden Go. Make It Rain, Nasty Plot, should be pretty good. You boost up your special attack, and then you gradually lower it as you go for Make It Rain. The one drawback to Make It Rain, though, is it only has 8 PP, so basically if you boost up your special attack stat with a couple of nasty plots, you will have to watch out for how low your Make It Rain is getting. So that's why I have Flash Cannon on here. If you run out of Make It Rains, you can go for Flash Cannon. You have Recover to get a bit of HP back. I was thinking maybe what you could do is you could go for the Shell Bell, kind of like what I had on Corridon here, but you could go for a Shookaberry in case this thing does have Earthquake. Take one super effective ground type attack. You might even want to justify running Terra Ghost instead of Terra Steel, and then that way too, if you were to go straight Terra Steel, well, now you become weak to fighting type attacks. If you have Terra Ghost, at least you keep the immunity to fighting while being able to still go for Make It Rain. Now, one thing is you won't be able to run Shadow Ball on this because Bulletproof will make Chesnaught immune to Shadow Ball, but I digress. It should be fine. Annihilate and Iron Hands both are kind of a similar idea. We'll jump into Annihilate first. Bulk Up, Screech, Drain Punch, similar to Corridon. The more damage you take, the more powerful Rage Fist gets. It's really, really beating a dead horse at this point. But as far as your Terra options go, you can go for either maybe Terra Fighting or Terra Ghost. I think they can be kind of interchangeable here. Similar to Golden Go, at least if you go Terra Ghost, you stay immune to the fighting type stab options that Chesnaught has. If you have Defiant on here, if Chesnaught's running Bulldoze or Rock Tomb, you'll get an attack boost. And then on top of that, Rage Fist will gain stab from Terra Ghost. Or rather, it already has stab, but you know what I mean. It's going to be boosted even further with double stab. Now, you could go Terra Fighting instead to boost up Drain Punch further, but at the same time, Chesnaught will be able to hit you with more moves. So that is something just to keep in mind. Now, Iron Hands, definitely Terra Fighting. Do not go Terra Electric, because if this thing does have the ground type coverage, it's gonna hurt. But you can go Belly Drum, maximize your attack, Drain Punch, rinse and repeat. You can go Citrus Berry for the item, or you could go maybe Covert Cloak if you wanted to, if you're worried about maybe stat drops. Maybe you can go Shell Bell. Shell Bell might be fine, but because you're going to be recovering HP back from Drain Punch, it doesn't necessarily have to be the thing. Now, another thing I was thinking too is, just for a little bit of support in between Drain Punches, you could run Force Palm on Iron Hands, because that'll give you a 30% chance rate to paralyze Chesnaught, and then maybe you can make Chesnaught lose some turns. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to give it Spiky Shield, but it could be a little bit more of a stall set too. And if that's the case, it might be good to disrupt Chesnaught and make it so that it can't attack every single turn as well. Now, the next one, I have two different ideas. It's kind of spicy, but I think it could be really fun, and that's Corvanite. So Corvanite, we could do one of two options here. I was thinking we can go for a bulk up body press set with Terra Fighting or Terra Steel, but like I mentioned about the fighting type being super effective against Steel, I'm kind of leaning more towards Terra Fighting on this. So go for your bulk ups on Corvanite. Go for your body press. Maybe even max out your HP and go something like 156 into your defense and 100 into your attack. Maybe you want to go, I don't know, maybe impish so that you're really getting your defenses up. That said, I don't like the odd numbers on that, so we're just going to do this. We're going to take 4 points out there, add them there. So we'll get a 50% boost to each of our attack and defense stats with bulk up. We'll go for the body press, and we'll start chipping away there. We have Iron Head for backup damage if we need it. We have Roost to heal our HP. On the flip side, what we could do is we could go Fake Tears Nasty Plot with Corvanite, and then have a means of lowering Chesnaught's special defense further. We can boost our own special attack 2 stages, and then go for the Flash Cannon. Now, Corvanite does have garbage special attack, but hear me out, it could be fun. It also might be a good little bit of a support as well for if you're playing online with your friends as well. Maybe that way too. It's a little bit of extra support. Should one of you have a golden go, maybe have like 3 Corvinites, because Bulletproof does make Chesnaught immune to acid spray, but Fake Tears is just as good. It's a status move, so it won't work against the shield, which is the one thing acid spray does have over it, but it's a guaranteed special defense drop where Metal Sound is only 85 accuracy. So just keep that in mind. It's a little bit of extra support. Maybe turn 1, maybe you're playing with a Golden Go, your friend is playing with a Corviknight. Maybe you have like 3 Corviknights, Metal Sound, or not Metal Sound, sorry, Fake Tears from the 3 Corviknights, turn 1, Nasty Plot, Golden Go, turn 1, and then turn 2, everyone goes for Flash Cannon while Golden Go goes for Make It Rain. Maybe. It could work, it could not. I don't know. But let me know if you want to try it out, because I think that would be kind of cool. And then there's Lurantis. So Lurantis might be an interesting grass type to use against this, because think about it. Contrary, it inverts your stat boosts and drops. So then we can go Leaf Storm to do damage. Leaf Storm isn't nullified by Bulletproof. Lurantis is going to get +2 into its special attack. We can go Giga Drain for side damage when we run out of PP on Leaf Storm, or even once we just hit our max. If we maximize our special attack EVs right here and our HP, we should have some decent enough bulk right there. 90 in each defense is pretty good in Lurantis' favor. What I'm thinking here is we have Leaf Storm to boost up our special attack 2 stages. We have Giga Drain to recover some HP back. And then if we're really desperate, we also have access to Synthesis. This was the thing I almost put the Energy Ball onto. But hey, there you go. You could just do this with Lurantis here. On top of that, you could even look into maybe running Grassy Terrain to get a little bit of passive recovery back for everyone on your team. You could do like maybe a Solar Beam if you're comfortable with taking an attack from Chesnaught. Maybe you have like maybe here's an idea. Maybe have like a playing online. Maybe have like say a Sunsetter, and then that way Lurantis can then get even more HP back from Sun with Synthesis. But then you can also go Solar Beam. So maybe turn 1 Leaf Storm, hit +2. Your partner sets up Sunny Day. Turn 2, Solar Beam. Food for thought. Anyways, guys, I think Chesnaught's going to be pretty straightforward. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my rambling on this, and I will see you next time. Happy hunting, by the way.